Hi guys, and welcome back to another episode of Dane Flips. I'm Dane. I'm a part-time reseller. I do it all out of my caravan alongside my full-time job. I go around car boots, I go around charity shops, people give me things, and I see what I can do to see if I can make a profit. So today was just a quick sales update. It's not going to be a very long video. I've sold 4 things overnight from the last time I did a sales update with you. Some days I might sell a couple of bits, other days some CM seems to go mad and I'll get 9 or 10 or 11 sales. It just depends on the time of month, if people have been paid, if the stuff that I've got is of interest to anybody. It is Sunday the 28th of June, so I have been car booting. Now, I am happy to say I was brave enough to put my GoPro on, but it had a clip on it that clips onto your shirt, and within 2 minutes of me having it on, it broke. So I got a lanyard on my keys and I sort of tied it round the GoPro and hung it round my waist. But the camera was sort of pointing upwards, so you couldn't really see anything on the tables. And obviously, on a lanyard, it was swinging from side to side. So the footage was absolutely terrible. So I'm not going to put that on here yet. I'm going to look at investing in a chest strap because I think that'll probably be the way to go because I know you can angle it a bit better. The GoPro I've got hasn't got a screen on the back, so I can't see where it's pointed to. So it was just a bit of an experiment today to see how it went. But the car boot I went to, there weren't as many cars there. There were a bit of drizzle in the air, so every time it started spitting a bit, you could see more and more people packing away. I mean, the drizzle didn't last too long. It might drizzle for 5 minutes, and then it'd go away, and you'd be all right for 10 minutes, sun would be out, and then all of a sudden it'd rain again. So I think it put a lot of people off on the day. But that being said, I walked around. There wasn't a great deal. There was a lot of traders, a lot of people that are there week in, week out that are overpriced. That ain't really good enough to do the prices that I need to be able to make a profit. That being said, I did pick up 3 things. I picked up a slivering hoodie, brand new, as well for £2 for my daughter. She's a massive slivering fan. All the bedrooms kitted out, so I saw that and picked that up for her. I picked up 2 Lion King Simba's heads drinking cups. I don't normally buy stuff like that, but I went to a car boot a couple of months ago and I picked up the turtle out of Finding Nemo in a drinks cup with a straw, and that sold quite well. So I thought, you know what, I'm going to give these a go. Obviously, I picked up another pair of rollerblades, but other than that, it wasn't worth doing a video and watching it, especially with the swinging of the GoPro and stuff like that. So yeah, I'll go through my few sales with you. So we'll start with the least to the most. Like I say, some of these items you wouldn't have seen in my videos because I've been doing this a few months before I started YouTube. So this is some of my old stock. I picked this up from my auntie. She gave me a bag full of evening dresses, prom dresses. It's like I say in previous videos, she's a hoarder. She buys things, never wears them, goes in a wardrobe, and they'll stay there forevermore. So yeah, I got that for free, and it has sold for £6.50. That did after fees. So you'll see that up in the corner. When I do put the pictures up, just bear in mind that that is the sale price. It doesn't show you the fees that come off of it. So you've got your ad fees. So I always promote my listings. So you do lose like 12 to 14% on that. So yeah, you'll see the price that it's actually sold for, but I'm telling you the price that I've got once the fees have been took off. That's how I tot it up in my head and know how much I've made. So, but that's just free £6.50 because I picked that up for free. The next one I have is the Nike golf shirt there. So that's a Nike dry fit golf shirt. I'm trying to find the tick mark. There it is. I don't know if I've shown this in a previous video, but my dad gave it me for free and it is sold for a tenner. I have got another one to list eventually, so I'm not doing too bad on the golf shirts at the minute, so I'll keep an eye out for them at a tenner a pop. So that takes me total to £16.50. This you definitely saw in a previous video. I picked this up from the charity shop last week. It's Woody. You got a date with justice, One-Eyed Bart. From Toy Story. I don't know why the older ones seem to hold value or sell for a decent amount. I picked it up for a fiver. I cross-list, I put it on Vinted and eBay, and within 2 minutes of me putting it on, I was getting messages, likes, people were watching it. I must have had about 50 people watching it in 10 minutes. And I'll get a message up. I got it up for 20 quid, and we take 12, we take 13, we take 14, we take 14 because I've got to pay for postage. That's the name of the game. I'm not going to put free postage on because it eats into my profit. And on Vinted, it doesn't give you that option. It's sort of, small, medium, large. And I put it on the smallest one. So it works out about £2.20, I think, on Vinted for a small parcel. And, people just don't want to pay the postage. They'll try and knock you down so it covers the postage, which I get, but I know this item's worth £20 all day long. So I ignored all the offers, and within half an hour of it being listed, somebody paid the £20 for it. So yeah, we paid a fiver. We've made 15 quid on it. That went on Vinted, so there's no fees there on Vinted, so I'm happy with that one. So that takes me up to about 31.50 in profit after everything I've paid and my fees have been took out. And then my last sale, knocking stuff around, that's actually a knife I've just knocked down. So I'll pick that up so I don't stand on it. That is what I use to cut my boxes down. It is just a no bread knife. So when the boxes are too big, I'll chop them down and fold them in a bit. Could have took my toe off for that. But yeah, this is my last sale of the day. You saw these the other day in a video. It is the Town Crier Bull Mastiff there. I paid £2 each for 5 of these, so I spent a tenner on them in total. This is the first one to sell. It went for £21 5 pence, so we'll say 21 quid after fees. So this one went on eBay. So all in all, 36.50. Let's say 20 quid to make it easier on my brain, because I paid £2 for it, so I made 19 quid on that one. So say 20, so 35.50. That's 55.50 overnight. So it's 50 quid. Once you've listed it, you go to sleep, let it do its thing, and I've made 50 quid overnight. I do go to the car boots and charity shops regular. I don't put the money I make back into the business. I fund it from my wages. So if I've got a lot of money, I'll spend a lot down the car boot. If I haven't, I might go down and spend 20-30 quid. It just depends on what I've got on any given week. This week I went down. I didn't have loads and loads to spend. I had enough to ever walk around and maybe pick up 4 or 5 things, but I say the quality of it just wasn't very good. Some weeks I might walk around with £100-150. You don't need loads of money to start this business. If you want to do this to help pay your bills that you're struggling with a little bit, I use it to put towards holidays. So when we go on holiday, I like to say sort of £1,000 spending money with me, because my kids burn through it dead quick. I just put my extra towards that, and it helps pay for my holidays. And then you get the odd week when you might be struggling a bit to pay your bills or put some electric on or something like that. It's always nice to have a little bit sat there just to go, oh, you know what, I'll get 20 quid out of there. That can go on the electric, or, I'm a bit short on the council tax. I'll chuck that in. But like I say, I do this part-time alongside my other job. I do it all out of my caravan. That's why, I'm not in a great big garage like some you'll see on YouTube, or I haven't got my own unit. That is a dream. I'd love to own my own unit and do this full-time. But in reality, you've got to be really, really lucky in this game to be able to make a proper living out of it. It doesn't mean you can't make a decent amount of money, but to make, £100 a day, £700 a week, it's a lot of work, which people probably don't realise how much work you put into it, because you're running around collecting the items, so you're using petrol to collect them. Sometimes I might drive 40 miles to go to 2 car boots there, and then 40 miles back. So you've got your petrol on top of that. You've got to get into the car boots. Some of them, some I pay £1 to get in, some I pay £4 to get in. So you've got to add all your overheads in. You've got your materials for wrapping and stuff like that. So, there is money to be made there, but you've got to be prepared to spend the money as well. So if anybody wanting to start out, just go down a car boot with 20 quid. look for some items that you think, if I pay £1 for that, somebody might pay me £3 or £4 for it. Maybe start off on Vinted, because people don't mind spending £3 or £4 on Vinted. Build your money up a little bit. Next time you go out, if you've got £50 profit, take 25 out with you, put 25 in a pot, and just slowly build it. That's all I did. I've slowly built it. And I was doing it out of a little room, utility room in my kitchen. That's where all my stock was at one point. But every time I sold something, I was having to drag loads of stuff out, find the bit I want, put everything back, and it was just so much hard work. So the caravan was on the yard. It was pretty much used as a playroom for my daughter, for her and her mates to come round, watch a bit of telly, and keep them out of my hair. But they absolutely trashed it, so I cleaned it all out, and I thought, I'm having it now. I'm going to use it for me. So yeah, I've been in here about 2 months now, doing it out of here, and it is a lot better because I've got a lot more room compared to what I was doing it in. I've got cupboards, I've got the seats the other side of me that you can't see, that I can stack stuff on. I've got all the sides I can stack stuff on. So yeah, it's working out a bit better, and I've got a bit more room, and I can make a bit of mess, chopping the boxes up and stuff like that, make a bit of mess without getting told off. But yeah, anyway, I'm prattling on. If anybody likes the videos and finding them interesting, please give us a like, please give us a subscribe, and please give us a follow. And share the videos for me. Help me along with my YouTube journey. My views have gone up a little bit. Now, don't get me wrong, they're not astronomical like in the hundreds, but they've gone from like 3 or 4 views to 17, 18 views. I've gone from having 3 subscribers to 8 subscribers, which is fantastic. If I can help one person, it's brilliant. But I would like to, maybe get to 50 subscribers and slowly build from there. So yeah, if you can all do me a favour, anybody that's watching, like, share and subscribe for me, and I'll see you in the next one.